Right now at noon, one neighborhood in Marysville is on edge after an overnight shooting involving police led to a pursuit on the highway. We'll have a live report with reaction from neighbors. Plus, an early morning house fire leaves one dead and another injured.
I'm sad for the family. This is something hard to deal with.
What we know about the investigation so far.
And we have some heavy rain right now moving across central Ohio. Had a pretty good downpour in Dublin with the Memorial Tournament going on. I'll have all the details of how long this sticks around and what you need to know as we head into the weekend. 10 TV News at noon starts right now.
Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for joining us on 10 TV News at noon. I'm Jay Plyburn. Tracy has the day off. That was video you just saw that we just received from a viewer of gunshots in a Marysville neighborhood from early this morning. This breaking news is the latest incident of violence against law enforcement. An officer is injured in Marysville after responding to a domestic incident. They are expected to be okay. Police shot the suspect where he was taken into custody. The incident led to a pursuit and a heavy traffic buildup on US 33 and US 36. All lanes were closed in both directions. And now we're learning this morning's incident started at a home in a cul-de-sac on White Oak Court. That's where we find 10 TV's Carla Rogner. She is live with what we know so far. Carla.
Yeah, Jay, police say this court here is where it all began around 2 o'clock this morning at the house behind me across the street here. That's where police responded to a report of a domestic dispute when police say the suspect first shot at officers from inside his vehicle. In fact, you can see there are a few bullet holes on the garage there, and that's when police say the suspect tried to flee, and on his way out of this court, he left a path of destruction through this neighborhood. One neighbor counted at least 7 cars that were severely damaged. You can see this car in this neighbor's yard. It appears the suspect traveled through here, hit his car as well, and even took out his mailbox. There's just a lot of destruction throughout this neighborhood here. And take a look at this. Just a few hours ago, police towed a Marysville cruiser out of this neighborhood. The cruiser has a bullet hole in the car's window. It's not clear if an officer was hurt, but we do know that at least one officer was injured during all of this here in White Oak Court. Police say that officer was treated and released. Neighbors here tell us it was surreal to wake up and see what had happened.
And then my wife woke me up and said there was police outside with barricades and that 2 of our cars had been heavily damaged while the individual involved with the police was leaving the scene.
Yeah, we don't know much yet about the suspect that police have in custody right now. He is being treated at a hospital for his injuries, but we do know that neighbors tell us the man who lived in this house where it all began this morning caused a lot of issues here in this neighborhood. In fact, they say this morning was just the 3rd time that police have been at the house just this week. So clearly a lot of cleanup here in the neighborhood today. We will keep you updated on this story and bring you any updates that we learn throughout the day. Back to you.
Sounds like absolute chaos out there. Carla, thank you. We will continue to follow this story and bring you updates throughout the day, according to us live there in Marysville for us. And this is at least the 3rd officer-involved shooting this week. We'll have details on each of the incidents in just a minute. But first, we have more breaking news to tell you about. This is video from a deadly house fire near East Linden. One person was killed, another injured in that blaze. The call came in just before 7 this morning. 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald is at that scene breaking down what we know and how neighbors are reacting now.
There are still a number of crews working this fire off of Bauman Avenue, just south of Agler Road. The call for this came in just before 7 o'clock this morning. Neighbors saw heavy smoke and fire coming from the 1st floor and were concerned people might be trapped. Officials believe 2 brothers lived here. One made it out of the house with some burns and was treated here on scene, but the other brother was found on the 1st floor deceased. I spoke with one woman who lives on this street. She tells me she drove by as the flames broke out and feels for the entire family.
So I was taking my daughter to work when we seen the smoke. We pulled over and we seen the one gentleman standing outside to ask if he needed help, and he said his brother was in there, but we weren't able to get in because of the flames. I'm sad for the family. This is something hard to deal with, you know. They've lost all their belongings.
And I'm told crews could be here for most of the day as the investigation and cleanup process continues. In Columbus, Amy Steigerwald, 10 TV News.
And we're working to learn more about both of these situations. We will have all the updates on air and online. Make sure you download that free 10 TV app on your phone for the latest breaking news. All right, let's get to the other big story of the day, the weather. Just take a look at the sky view shot. It's been raining pretty much all morning long. Meredith Garfalo joins us with details. The big question here, when will things finally dry up as we head into the weekend?
We had such a nice day yesterday, Jay, and now today we have this that we're dealing with. It's day 2 of the Memorial Tournament. A lot of people outdoors in Columbus. I've got you covered with the details, but we still do have that 10 TV weather impact alert that's in place. It goes into early afternoon, and it is for the threat of heavy rain and the possibility we could still see some storms pop up. I want to show you where the heavy rain is happening right now. You can see there's a big cluster from Lancaster up to I-70 and Zanesville. And also right now, just north of Columbus, I want to zoom in here right now and show you where the heaviest downpours are coming. Just between Worthington, about to move into Westerville. If you're traveling north on the I-71 corridor, you'll probably run into this. So just give yourself a little bit of extra time. And then even up towards Sunbury, some heavier rain. Literally, this is right along I-71. And if we zoom in and look at just north of Dublin, this is where the Memorial Tournament is happening. I can tell you right now, thankfully the rain a lot lighter than it just was, but today not looking so good. The next couple of days looking much better, but I will track everything for you. We'll go through this hour by hour, and I'll get you ready for the weekend with what we can expect. Jay?
All right, Meredith, thanks so much. We have continuing coverage this afternoon as police are still searching for the man who they say shot 2 Mifflin Township police officers Wednesday night. According to police, this man, 21-year-old Devontae Dixon, is still on the run and should be considered armed and dangerous. The shooting happened during a traffic stop at Purdue Avenue and Agler Road. One of the officers who was shot remains in the hospital. Now police are asking the public for help in finding that suspect.
We're asking for everyone in the community to stay vigilant. As the sheriff mentioned, we still got a guy that's presumably armed and dangerous. He clearly has no regard for law enforcement or anybody else in the community.
And a reminder that right now there is a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to Dixon's arrest. Just call the number on your screen with information. This all happened just 2 days after a Morrow County deputy was shot and killed in the line of duty. And this afternoon, we're learning more about the memorial services for Deputy Daniel Shearer. The visitation for Deputy Shearer will be held next Tuesday from 1 to 7 at Northmore High School in Galleon. The funeral will be held that following day, Wednesday at 11 a.m., followed by a private burial. We have a link to Shearer's obituary right now on 10tv.com. Deputy Shearer was responding to a domestic violence call on Monday at the corner of County Roads 15 and 26 near Marengo. When he got there, he was shot and taken to the hospital where he later died. The suspect was also shot and taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Hundreds gathered last night at the Morrow County Sheriff's Office to remember the fallen deputy. Many knew him personally, but others were simply at the vigil to mourn the loss that's being felt across the community.
It's heart-wrenching. God bless his heart. I heard Sheriff Hinton refer to him as a kid, and that's exactly how, once you get to be my age, he was just a kid. He was a good boy. And I am so sorry that this has had to happen.
Deputy Shearer is survived by his parents and his fiancée. Coming up, after a brutal dog attack left a 12-year-old girl hospitalized, Reynoldsburg is taking action. The tough new penalties dog owners could face now. Plus, the stars are out at Muirfield as day 2 of the Memorial Tournament heats up. Who's climbing the leaderboard and who's in danger of missing the cut? Up next.